Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Lynn Gray, and I'm on the Hillsborough County Public School Board, one of 7 board members. But I'm also a coach that has been running for 45 years, over 100 marathons, including 12 Boston marathons, and have trained thousands of individuals to become very efficient walkers and runners. So today is one part of the series, and the lesson today is number 1, walking or running is medicine, and secondly, walking or running develops cardiovascular health. So what is cardiovascular health? What does that mean? When we talk about the cardiovascular system, we're talking about your circulatory system. And if you could imagine the capillaries and the arteries having more blood flow, the blood has a lot of nutrients. It gives nutrients to the cells throughout your entire circulatory system. So if you're making the blood flow more, it seems to me that your cells are going to get healthier and healthier. And by the way, your brain gets the oxygen it needs to think clearly and function at its sharpest. Also, another bit of medicine is the fact that the lungs become very strong and they become efficient. So every time we take a breath in and expel air, when you take the breath in, all that oxygen goes into the lungs and makes the lungs work such that, not that they're a muscle, they're an organ, but they also become more efficient and they start working to your benefit. So we need to make sure that we remember that any type of movement is going to provide a certain degree of cardiovascular health. So let's talk about what should we do before we get into a vigorous walk. What do we want to do? What is our goal? Well, our goal is twofold. Number 1, we want to subtract sitting down all day studying and looking down at the computer. We want to become healthy and fit and move. It's the right thing to do, and it's a natural part of your body. The body loves to move. It's made for movement. But before we start moving, I'm going to put these 2 water bottles down, and this will be your supplies. These are like weights. I want to talk to you very briefly about what type of walking or running shoe you should get, because 99% of the injuries can be avoided with the proper footwear. So what we want to look for, no matter what weight, height, size, you want to look for a cushion, which is obvious, but also having a stable, what is called a stability bar. And what this means is cushion, less impact, stability, less moving left or right, less giving your foot an outward pronation. And you've seen that. Some people will actually walk a little bit more out like this. Some people will supinate and go in. So this makes for a much better foot strike when you have cushion and stability in a shoe. Shoes make a difference. So let's go ahead and talk about the basic tenets of training. Any sport, you should always begin with a basic stretch. So just so we're knowing that we're giving an introductory lesson, let's go ahead and do the great stretch called the yawn. You yawn, your arms go all the way up, and you let yourself exhale and just go right, stretch right, come back to neutral, left, stretch, left, come back to neutral, and just let your body and your head dive down as if you were a swimmer, and just bend your knees a little bit. Let your hands be the weight, and then straighten your knees. Bend your knees, straighten your knees. And with a big inhalation, come on all the way up. The arms go out into a T position, and left and right. Again, this is all the curvature of your spine, because all you've been doing today for many of you is bending down. So this should feel good. So that's one nice comprehensive stretch. So let's talk also about what type of training rule do I follow when I go out. So there's two major rules. One is the fundamentals of any training program. Number one, it's the frequency that you participate. In other words, how many days a week will you take a walk or do a run? The other is the duration. How long will you be out there? Will it be 10 minutes? Will it be 20 minutes, an hour, etc.? And last, for the best cardiovascular activity is resistance. So when you go out, are you walking really fast? Are you running faster? That's resistance. Speed is resistance. How about wind? Are you going into the wind? That's resistance. How about heat? Probably one of the biggest issues that we'll have soon is walking or running in the heat. Walking in the heat or running in the heat produces a lot of extra sweat, of course, but it makes your heart work much harder and for less benefits in terms of movement. So you're really going to have a lot of resistance with heat, but more on that later. So let's talk now about what type of form should I have when I get into a walking movement. And this is important. So what I wanted to suggest is what is called a specificity exercise. And that means when you are going to walk or run, and this is what we learned from the Olympic training camp, you want to go ahead and kind of warm up with a plyometric, which means you put your weights on, and this is water bottles, making it simple, or sometimes you can go all the way up to 5 pounds. But what you want to do is have your arms like a slingshot. So if I wanted to run or walk fast, obviously I'm going to increase this. If I'm just going to go slow, I'm going to decrease. And again, now this is resistance right here because this is a weight. And we don't want to run necessarily with this, but walking is a good idea. This might be a little bit heavy. Even your appendage, your arm has weight. So just think about that. But this is a very, let's just say effective plyometric. In other words, a specific exercise to make you walk more efficiently or run. So I would say let's start out with 1/2 minute, 30 seconds of continual motion, and enjoy the fact that number one, you're moving, but also you're getting stronger. So if you go ahead and put on a stopwatch, which I should have had on, and I'll have it on next time, you can actually time yourself. But nonetheless, this is very, very good exercise. And watch that I don't go out like a chicken, and I don't do a salt shaker type of movement. I'm really being efficient, and I'm actually scraping almost the side of my shirt here, so you get that continual, efficient motion. Secondly, if we're talking about form, which we are, put these down. Let's talk about our foot strike. So we would rather make a heel to toe movement versus running on your toes or walking on your toes. It puts way too much stress. So we want to talk about heel to toe, slight arch in the back. Heel to toe, keep the back arch. And all the while, we want to make sure that we're going heel to toe, arch back, but we're using those arms, which is what we need to be doing. So that is a good way to start, and I would say our next lesson, which will be on Wednesday, will refine that movement even more. Now, let's talk about the workout. Yes, let's remember there's joy in movement, but there is what we call an actual workout that I want you to practice during the week. So I'm going to go ahead and set your timer for 20 minutes. You're going to allow yourself to take a 20-minute break. Within this 20 minutes, you're going to pick a start line. And the start line, let's just say, is your front door. So you're going to go ahead and it's called out and back. So you're going to go out for 10 minutes. You're going to turn around, but you got to go back to your destination, your original destination, which is your front door, faster. So let me review. Pick out your starting point. Say it's the front of your house. Say it's the tree in front of your house. Go out, easy for 10 minutes, or medium. But when you reverse, you're going to go back the same way, but faster. So if I did that perhaps today, I would like to come back versus 10 minutes in 9 minutes. So you're kind of very comprehensively and intentionally trying to make yourself go a little faster, which now that cardiovascular system will be working. Now, out and back is the name of the workout, and we can do this all kinds of ways. As a runner, as a run walker, and as a walker. For example, if I were to walk, say I'm just getting into walking, I would go out easy, let my arms relax, and I'd go out for 10 minutes. And then I'd turn around and I'd start using my arms, still walking easy. Now, if I were a walk jogger, for example, I would go out for my walk using my arms and turn around and I would jog back. So I think you see where I'm going. And of course, if you're a runner, you would maybe start out with an easy jog and come back and run harder. Now, distances and effort level go with ability level. So let's share that real quick. I always divide it into 3 parts. There's the beginner, the medium, and the advanced. Now, a beginner walker, usually it's about 18, maybe 17 minute per mile pace. A intermediate walker, shouldn't say medium, it's intermediate, should go probably about 15 minutes to 16 minutes a mile pace. And believe it or not, an advanced walker, and I've had folks do as fast as an 11-minute mile to 14-minute miles. And that means you're probably going faster than a jogger. So those are ability levels for walkers, and for runners who are new and too experienced, you can see the differentials. So again, a beginner runner, their first mile or their only mile might be as easy as a 13, 14, 15-minute pace. And then an intermediate, probably down to 11, 12-minute pace. Or maybe a 10-minute. Depends on how long you've been doing this. And advanced, you can imagine, you've seen them go as fast as 5 minutes, or even less, a mile, and they can go as fast, probably for a long time, at an 8-minute mile, 9 or 10. So you get what I'm saying. We'll talk about ability levels later, but for right now, I want you to take your walk or your run, enjoy yourself, enjoy the fresh air, take a little bit of time, as they say, to smell the roses and reflect on your day. Stay healthy, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Thank you.